Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I am Fallon Jordan, where we're having amazing conversations about where the metaphysical meets neuroscience. I am your host, Fallon Jordan, and I am so excited and delighted to have my friend and soul legacy activator, Aiswarya, here. Thank you so much for being here.
It's so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. This is amazing. And as I stated, she is a soul legacy activator, which is just like the coolest name. She's a healer, guiding spiritual and creative light workers to unlock their true soul design. With roots in a family of healers and entrepreneurs, she merges deep spiritual practices with a keen eye for branding and visual storytelling. After leaving the finance world, Aishwarya found her calling in music and spiritual entrepreneurship, empowering others to express their divine gifts, which is amazing. She has an innovative soul light activation method she uses to transform lives and activating inner healers and fostering profound healing. Her mission is to bridge ancient wisdom and modern practices, illuminating paths to supernatural abundance. Love that. And genuine freedom for soul seekers everywhere. And we were just going to dive into the mother father wound, which is so perfect because if you are in my community, you know, like you never know what I'm going to talk about and what's going on in my life. And like the mother father wound is like everything I'm working on very intensely right now, to the point where I've had like a migraine since I started doing this release work yesterday. So it's coming out and I am like getting this shit out. So I would love to hear when you started realizing that that was like the work that we need to do as light leaders, and then kind of where that brought you into like leaving finance and then like creating your own business, kind of like the whole story of the mother father wound.
Yeah. So, I mean, I will try and condense it as much as I can. So, obviously, finance, I left ages ago, like after university, went into it for 6 months and then left. And then ever since then, I've been on this entrepreneurial journey. For me, it was I felt like I could not be loved for who I was.
Mm.
That stemmed from so many different things. That stemmed from me coming from, yes, a family of healers and entrepreneurs, but they're quite academic. They're quite, being of Indian heritage. They had a different vision for me, especially one of my parents. So that was always playing in the mix. And I was just super spiritual. I was super creative, and coming from an immigrant family as well. It's like, is that really going to pay the bills? Like, are you going to be able to make that work? Like, be a doctor, be a lawyer. So that was the thing. So I always was fighting that. And then also just being like British Indian as well. And like, being just not knowing what my identity was, because I had to embrace both, which are really like contrasting. So all of that led to me feeling like, can I really be loved for being me? Which showed up in relationships, which showed up in wealth creation. The way it showed up in relationships was that, yeah, again, could I really be myself? Or do I need to people please and play different roles of like whatever? That was one side. The other side was feeling like I couldn't get paid to be me. I couldn't get paid to be doing what I loved. So I always had to have some form of compromise. I always had to hide myself. I couldn't completely own who I truly was. So I just got really tired of that, because I am a soul that thrives on being in alignment. And if I'm not in alignment, it manifests extreme situations in my life, like, health issues, or just feeling like getting a great career and then it all falling to pieces, or getting a relation. Like, it's extreme, the universe is
Mm-hmm.
like, be on your path. So then I had to do the work, and I realized that this all stems from the relationship that we have from our mother and father, not just in our life experience, but also when we are in the womb. It goes so deep as to the point that we are conceived, the level of energies that are, all starts from there. And even before, like, what was our mother dealing with before she conceived you? What was your
Right.
father dealing with before he conceived you? Like, what's your ancestral lines on both of them? So it's so, so deep. So that's how I knew that these things that we carry need to be resolved for us to create space and for us to disconnect from the, the stuff that we carry in our physical bodies, emotional bodies, so we can truly come forward into our soul path.
That's amazing and so beautifully said. And I'm curious where, because you're into astrology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where does this stuff show up in your astrology? Like the mother, father, family stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not a professional astrologer, but I definitely have studied astrology and I use it in my work. So, the mother is represented by the moon. So, wherever the moon is in your chart, in your full chart with the 12 houses, determines the kind of relationship you have with your mother, like which house it's in, what the condition of it is in, meaning like, is it with planets that take energy away from it? Is it with planets that suppress it? Because moon is a very sensitive energy. Moon is your the feminine part of your personality, it's your inner world. And then your father is represented by the sun. So wherever your sun is in your chart, and likewise, is it with a planet that gives it strength? Is it with a planet that shadows it? Is it like eclipsed? So that's where it's shown in
That
your
is
chart.
so cool. And I'm sure a lot of people are like immediately pulling up their chart. So feel free to pause because I didn't know any of that. I was just thinking in general, like family. I know for me, it's like Jupiter, luck, and like happiness is related to family, which is why it's like I have to deal with my family stuff if I want some other type of family to come in, which would be based on my chart, the biggest miracle, which is something I didn't even think that I wanted. So like all of these things and how they overlap, like it's just so fun. Like the more information, the better. And I think if people are here, they are totally in the same boat with us where they just want to know. So,
Exactly.
so what are some things that you like to do when or have done when it comes to healing the mother father wound? Like are there certain modalities, certain mentors, like what do you find helpful?
Yeah, so I have gone to, I've been on this healing journey for so long, like just because I've had to be, because it was like, heal yourself, like find your way to the light, or really suffer like worse than the average person, like I said.
Yeah.
So I had to find my way. And there was, the healers I'd worked with would just come into my life. Jupiter's also represents your, the healers in your life as well. So they just kind of came in and they would help me. Some of them would even help me for free, because I was just so on this path and I was like saying to the universe, like, and each person helped me in like different compartments, but I wanted to create a method that would just take you from point of conception to whatever you're dealing with right now. And that influenced me to create my soul activation method, where if someone, and then, doing that with clients and practicing that with people just made me realize that it always came back to the mother and father wound, whether it be in relationships. I could give you some examples of like people, might be able to identify. So, a few of my client studies or whatever that people can like relate to that maybe. So one is expecting your partner to be the parent that you never had.
Womp womp.
So
Oh my God.
yeah. So that can look like whatever somebody does, it just doesn't feel enough, or you just don't get what you want from the relationship. And it's like this core wound of injustice. You're feeling like, why am I not getting, why are you not doing all these things? And that person can like show up as a partner, but what you're craving deep inside is a parent, because you never, if like one parent was absent, or if one parent was just, physically present but emotionally absent, whatever it looks like, it could be anything. But now you are looking to your partner to fill that void, and they can never ever fill that void. So that's one thing. I want people to really think like, do you want a partner or do you want a parent? The other thing is parenting your partner. So a lot of women fall into this, especially if they're, a part of something that makes a woman very like a go-getter and successful and high achieving is that she would have had to step into her masculine. Um, and that's a positive quality because we need femininity and masculinity. But then if you translate that exactly into relationships, it can be like, okay, now I'm going to mother, I'm going to like control this situation, I'm going to mother that person. Or it could be like you get your sense of worth from giving, so you attract men that want healing all the time, or you attract men that have a mother wound, or if you're a man, you attract women that want to be saved. And then that comes from the core wound of abandonment. So you're always like trying to like not get abandoned and just like mother the other person or father the other person. And then I want you to ask yourself, like, do you do that? And just giving you a third one, just in the category of relationships, is choosing familiarity. So there'll be like amazing people out there, they've got their lives in order, like they're killing it in their career, they've got great friendships, but then you see them and they attract like just crazy partners and you think, why did that person choose that person? Why are they choosing like explosive, toxic partners? Or why is this amazing, beautiful lady over here putting up with this person who's always criticizing her? Is because she's choosing familiarity. You're choosing what's familiar to you over your true soul desire, because your nervous system is so calibrated to certain feelings from your childhood. And you don't want anything, like, even though you might want something different and your soul wants something different, your nervous system feels like actually unsafe with safe partners, and more familiar and more comfortable with like toxic partners if that was your family situation, because you almost know what's coming. Whereas if it's safe, you're thinking, when is it gonna, I can't predict. At least with a partner that's like this, you can predict their moods. But if it's just like this, it's like, oh my God, when is it coming? So your nervous system is like always on alert. So that's just an example in the realm of relationships.
Well, I love that. And, if people that were on reality TV knew this shit, there would be no reality TV.
I know, exactly. Imagine if everyone just healed their mother and father wounds. We literally would have like a totally different shows on TV.
My friend that I'm staying with is like a reality TV buff. So, like, as much as I like, try not to watch it all the time, it's just like hilarious. I'm like, these poor people. It's the same thoughts. It's like, how on earth does this girl think that she needs to be with this guy when he is such a piece? Well, I'm not going to say he's a piece of shit. He's going through his own stuff, but like treating her horribly. And then like making her get plastic surgery so she turns into a completely different person who's no longer even attractive to anyone but him. It's just wild. Like, this is then what's going on with me. And then I'm linking it back because I'm very like in the trenches right now with this work. I'm doing the To Be Magnetic program, which I literally just heard about. And my friend was like, you have to do it immediately. And like the womb stuff, wild.
Yeah.
I've done so many meditations that I'm sure people hear like, yeah, I feel like I'm like working on it. But it's like, did you really dig all the way down? Like, did you really get it out? Because you'll know, because everything will work out, right? Like, you at the beginning were sharing perfectly, like, if you don't deal with it, shit's going to blow up in your life, whether it's now in 10 years or in 20 years. And especially, if you're younger and you're a healer and you're an entrepreneur, spirit's going to make you deal with it now, because they're like, we got to go, we got shit to do while you're here. And then some of these other generations are having to deal with it later, right? By having these disastrous divorces in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And then they feel like they're starting over. It's like, why don't we do this work now? Why don't we raise our children to do this work now and see how we are? I mean, that's the whole point of the creating the new earth. So I would love to hear, if someone is doing the work, they feel like they've come to a good place with it, what are some things that you would encourage them to just reflect on that you haven't already shared? And yeah, like, what would you want to say to them to just make sure, like, hey, if you're having this issue, you probably are still kind of stuck.
Yeah, I think it's like you need to find so we're always evolving. Like, I don't believe we can find one healer and we can stay with them for life, right?
Yeah,
It's like
right.
everyone comes into your journey when they need to come into your journey. And then once they have completed whatever they've completed in your life, that you move on. And that's why as healers, we're all working with different people at different stages of their evolution. So I think like if you're at a good place right now, then keep doing what you're doing. If you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling, then you need to see what the next step is for you, what is there for you to evolve. Like, of course, like, I think it's great to go to people like you, Fallon, like me, to, if people resonate and they want help, but you also should be like strengthening your relationship with your divine guidance, your intuition, your source energy as well, because it's like a two-way thing. Like people can come in and out of your life to help guide you, but what you need to kind of, well, not what you need, but what would be good is like to have your own relationship with source and strengthen that in your own way, whether it be through meditation or yoga or developing your own healing modality or whatever it is. That's really important, because that's the relationship that's going to stay with you until you leave this earth. After you leave this earth, I feel like we're souls coming into this earth experience to like develop our souls. So that's very important, and be disciplined with that as well, in a way where you don't have to be like, I have to do it. But if you feel called to doing it and you resonate with it and it helps you, then just keep up that practice.
Amazing. So wonderful. And I know that you have a new program meant to support people. Would you like to share a little bit more about that?
Yes, which I interviewed you on, which was so fun. So it's a 25-day container called Finally Feel Free, this third series. It's got over 50 speakers, and every single day someone is sharing with you, their recipe for freedom, basically, in all different areas of life, like wealth, health, relationships, and spirituality. So you can sign up for that event at, we'll put the link. I think you'll put the link down below, but it is
For sure.
soulgoddesslife.com, and you can go to the events section and sign up for that. Every day you'll get 2 emails, 2 speakers, free gifts, and you can just stay in that, container for 25 days, and it's starting May the 25th.
That's amazing. And like any container I've done that is, like consecutive every day getting messages, like that's where the transformation comes from. And that's why so many coaches use things like WhatsApp and Voxer to just hear that person's voice, like hear the inspiration every day. So this is really amazing. And I had so much fun. I don't remember what we talked about, but I'm sure it was amazing. So definitely encouraging everyone to join and share with your friends too, because it can get lonely. And like some people, like we have our people, but they're like location wise, like very far away. So if you have a friend near you, or someone in your neighborhood, like share the information so that we have more of us in the same places, because it really starts with the people listening, just like being willing to share. So I'm so grateful that you put all that together. I know how much work things like that are. So super grateful for that. Is there anything you would like to say as like a summary in closing for everyone listening?
Yeah, I think like it's sometimes you can feel like you're on a healing hamster wheel. Like, when is it ever going to end? Like, but we're on Earth. It's never gonna be heaven, because we're on Earth. Obviously, it's gonna get better and better. And the more you remove out of your system, the more light that will come in and the better you'll feel. So just keep going, like enjoy just enjoy this ride, because it's like this crazy ride. Even me, I'm like, why did I actually sign up for this? And then there's moments that are like, oh my God, it's so good to be here. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing if it works, and keep reaching for more. And yeah, just wishing everyone so much love on their journey.
I
Thank you for
love
having this
that.
amazing podcast as
Oh
well,
my
Fallon.
God, you are so welcome. It's so beautiful. And I apologize if the sound is a little weird. I soaked my headphones like right before the interview, and I was like, they either work or they don't work. So hopefully they sound okay. But just sending everyone so much love. Thank you again so much for being here, Aiswarya. And I am so excited about the event. And like I said, the link is below. Please share it with your friends, and we will see you all next time. Bye for now.